And greetings, everybody. Welcome here this afternoon to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of the show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. It's Monday night. That means it's time for a look back at a classic rock albums that are 15 years or older, who are twos, ones, or masterpieces for me. I tend to like to kind of talk about them a lot, and this one's no different from that. An album that is currently in my playlist, Heavy Horses by Jethro Tull. This is, I think, probably right now my second favorite album right now. One of 3 Tull albums in my favorites list right at the moment. Also, it's been on my playlist about 5 months, pretty close to it, and usually I give it about 5 months before I decide whether I want to do a classic look back or not. This album is absolutely killer. Released April 16th, 1978 in the United States, and then again on April 21st, 1978 in the United Kingdom. Recorded at the Mason Roog studio in Fulham, London. About 42 minutes in length, so longer than most stuff at that time period, but still well within the Jethro Tull range. On the Chrysalis' label again, or Chrysalis, sorry. I don't know why I say Chrysalis. I always say that, but it's actually Chrysalis, I know that. Production by Ian Anderson. So, excellent album. Another shot of it here. There's the guys. Excellent album. Appearing on here, Ian Anderson, lead vocals, flute, acoustic guitar, and some additional electric guitar. You got Martin Barr on electric guitar, John Glasscock on bass and vocals, backing vocals, of course, John Evans on piano and organ, Dee Palmer on keyboards, portable pipe organ and orchestra arrangements, and then you got Barrymore Barlow, of course, on drums and percussion. Additional personnel on this, Daryl Ways, who does some violin, an excellent job on the violin, I might add. So this particular copy of the album is a remastered, re-editioned copy. I believe that's what it is. Yeah. It's been remixed by Stephen Wilson here. Also has all of the additional associated recordings with it, including Living in These Hard Times, version 2, Everything in Our Lives, Jacqueline early version as well, Quatrain studio version, Horse Hoeing Husbandry, Beltane, Botanic Man, Living in These Hard Times version number 1, and then the Botanic Man theme. Okay, so on this album there are 9 tracks originally, on the original release of this album. Those were all extras. So it opens up with "And the Mouse Police Never Sleeps." Excellent entry. Right away you feel that kind of Songs from the Wood feeling, Minstrels in the Gallery continuing here. This is an absolutely killer song. Acres Wild, another really good, solid kind of song. No Lullaby. I like this. It's so Anderson-like in vocals. I just love the sound of it. Moths, Journeyman, and Rover, all really good tracks as well. One Brown Mouse. Excellent. And then it ends off with the 2 songs I probably like the most on the album. Heavy Horses. Just such a catchy, heavy riffing song. And Weathercock, which is another really fantastic song. So basically the album has a lot of similarity to Songs from the Wood. There's a lot of folkiness to it. There's a lot of bluesy sounds to it. Of course, the progressive stuff is here as well. It's a heavy album, lots of heavy guitar riffing here as well. Some acoustic bits throughout the album. The flute playing, of course, is masterful, as it always is. You've got some of the better bass stuff going on here from John Glasscock. The drumming, of course, is Barlow Barrymore's among his best here again. Excellent. And it's got a fair bit of that classical sound that I think Jethro Tull does amongst the best. They mix that and the folk and the bluesy stuff together so well, creating some really catchy riffs, some really catchy, memorable tunes. Again, the vocals are excellent. Ian Anderson's voice is fantastic on this album. Once again, another fantastic album by one of the great rock bands of all time. To me, this is a band, you know, I had about 6 or 7 other albums before I started this channel, and they were already in my top 5 or 6 bands of all time. Now I've been listening to all the new stuff that I've gotten from War Child, Benefit, Stand Up. All these albums were early on in the beginning of the channel, which were really strengthening the band. And then you've got this one, Storm Watch, and Broadsword and the Beast. Sorry, got all tangled up there. All 3 of these albums, top notch, fantastic. I still have lots of stuff that I haven't got to. Catfish Rising, what's the album? The Passion Play. Yeah, lots of stuff that I still haven't even got to yet, and already this band is moving up for me. I've decided that they've moved up and are challenging now, yes, for my second overall favorite band. I think they're a little bit far off to catch Rush, but absolutely killer. Just another beautiful album, you know, I don't know which one of these 3 that's on my playlist I like more. Stormwatch, Broadsword and the Beast, or Heavy Horses. All 3 of them, while different in some ways, a lot of catchiness in other ways, all 3 of them are absolutely #1 albums, all with a chance to be masterpieces. Just some excellent stuff here. And what's even more important, other than the excellent stuff, is all the extra stuff that comes with these editions of the album. Songs that were recorded during those time periods that are almost as good as the album itself. So just absolutely loving this part of Jethro Tull's discography, and I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Definitely an album, if you like Songs from the Wood or Stormwatch, you will definitely like this. It's somewhere between the 2, in my opinion. I think this one sounds a little bit more like Songs from the Wood, but yeah, absolutely killer stuff. I know it's kind of reaching a bit here to say that this is probably the 3rd best of those 3 albums. That's saying, putting it in 3rd is really hard for me to say because it hasn't been around long enough. It could end up being my favorite of the 3. It's hard to say, but both those other 2 albums were fantastic, and this one definitely keeps up that. So I hope it sounds like I'm enthusiastic about these Tull albums, because I am. All 3 of these albums are going to rival Songs from the Wood for my favorite, along with Minstrels in the Gallery and Aqualung and Thick as a Brick and Benefit, and it just goes on, and Stand Up. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. And any comments about these albums or about this particular album, Heavy Horses, Jethro Tull, please leave it in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we will see you next Monday on another look back at a classic rock album. Have yourself a good Prog Monster night. Take care and goodbye.